There's a little skimp of snow outside, and it's really not that cold. It should be on the river. But it's Sunday, and I got a lot of things I need to get done. Top tray, the number one. The more you use the Gold Cube, the better it works. Just like this washer mat. The more material you run across it, it scratches the surface like a little sanding pad, and it works better. So let's get the mats washed and set up, plug some lights in, and see what we're going to come up with. I misplaced my toilet brush, bottle brush, whatever you want to call it. So I got to use a paintbrush. And see how that everything that dumps out of this Gold Cube just drops in that tray. It does two things. It's deep enough. It keeps your shit from getting in this tank and plugging up your pump. Keeps your water cleaner. I mean, it's just really, it's perfect for the Gold Cube. But what I do on the Gold Cube is I take a little jet dry and I throw it in there. Then I give it a little squirt of water. Then I give it a little squirt of water. Then I really just work the shit out of that Gold Cube. Make sure that jet dry gets in every one of them little holes. I go both ways. Get it all soaked up good. It's important to get that air off them mats. If you don't do that, you're going to lose gold. Just like any of Doc's mats. One of the most, well, there's a few important things to do. But the first thing is to get the air off the mats. It ain't going to work. If you got air on the mats, you're going to lose gold. And then you're going to wonder why. But I do every one of these mats the same way. Just a little bit of jet dry. Yeah, I got stock in jet dry, so it don't matter if I use a little much. But just get that worked up good. The whole thing lathered up good. You know, right here's where all the gold's caught anyways, right there at the very first. Matter of fact, it's the very first tray. But like I said, if you don't get the air off, expect to lose gold. And it's nobody's fault but your own. I mean, that's straight up. You know, Doc mixes a little bit of the jet dry in a bottle with water. So, that way you don't need as much jet dry. But I mean, it just works a whole lot better for me just to do it. I mean, I got enough shit to carry around. Even in the shop, as you can tell, I don't have room for anything. My shop's so damn cluttered up. Clean it one day and it's a mess the next, and it's my own fault, but that's just the way it is. Okay, another little handy thing is these little finger clamps. That's what I call them. But anyway, that helps hold the mat in. I got it at a 15-degree angle, drop it into the Gold Cube. My gold here, nothing is above 30 mash. Nothing. So the Gold Cube, you know, you screen down to 1/8 inch, but you get the little rocks in there. So I run it through a 12-inch screen. Now, later this summer, I'll have to run it through a 1/2-inch screen, then a 1/4-inch screen, and then run it just through this. And then, you know, but I'll be running, you know, 5 gallons just quick as I can, just to get the easy gold, and then the rest of the shit comes home for the winter time to wait for Doc to come out with something else, I guess. No. Just to have something to do in the winter, test new equipment, test this, test that. gold digging is all about testing. You got to test your ground. You got to test the equipment that you're using. You got to have faith in the equipment you're using, or you're going to lose gold. You know, if Doc says 15 degrees for him, it works. I've been working better at 7 degrees, but we're going to do a 15-degree test and see. I mean, I should just run quarter-inch shit through it and do it, but most of my shit's already been screened. All these buckets here has been screened because I've been doing the shit, and that's what I screen it down to. The Gold Cube is a great piece of equipment. This washer mat, like Doc says, these two mats right here, solid gold. You don't have to dick around panning. I hate panning. I do it to find the gold. I do it to get the gold out, but it's not one of the favorite things in prospecting. All right, let's fire this thing up and see what happens. This, you gotta make sure you get the air bubbles off. I get jet dry in the water. Lots of jet dry in the water. So, this is one of the most important things, get the air off the mat. Know what to look for in your mat. Know that real active mat. I mean, really look for that stuff dancing around, and it'll help. So, let's start feeding dirt. So hard to dump this stuff when it's wet, but alright, just that. I mean, this is not real good stuff. But I already see gold right there, right here, and it's already starting to show up. And it's not good stuff. I mean, like I said, it's been run through. I have a hard time just throwing shit out until I know what's what. And I didn't pan this stuff, so you got to see how good your panner is, I guess. But yeah, there's gold starting to show up. You know, you got gold down here. And it's cleaning it out good. So I'm just going to feed it, shut this thing off, and we'll check back in a little bit. Unfortunately for me, my panners is doing a pretty good job. I mean, I got a little bit of gold right in there, a little bit of gold right in here, a little bit of gold there. You know, is it worth running if you're bored on a cold day? Yeah. If not, throw it in your damn driveway. But another thing that's important when you run this stuff is the feed rate. I mean, you gotta feed it even. I don't know if I can do this or not. Let's see what I can do here. Oh, maybe. I feed it even across that. It'll take it, but it's got to have time to work. If you don't feed it even, it's going to run down your sluice before it ever hits the bottom. Same thing with these Gold Hog machines. That header box is just important to set up as the angle on your sluice box. If you're running real sandy stuff, you want it just to where it barely gets them rocks off by itself, but it holds it in the box longer. If you're running a bunch of big gravel, tip that thing up and let it do its thing. But for river sand, that's just basically everything's ½ inch, inch and a half smaller. You just kind of let that box do the job. I mean, But them bars, it holds it in there, and if the angle's down, it washes it good. Gives time for that gold to separate. You know, this is just from my experience. Now, somebody else might have a different idea. That's what makes it fun to do, is everybody's ideas come together and works, and you become more successful at what you're doing. I mean, I had a hard time with these mats at first because, like everybody else, I'm losing gold. Slow it down. Well, you don't slow these mats down. Alright, I'll check back in a little bit. Okay, that whole thing was a waste of time. I mean, I got very little gold in here. Not worth the time it took to run it. I mean, you gotta have limits. How much time do you want to spend to get that last speck of gold? Alright, yeah, this machine caught it. But how long did it take to catch it? Alright, I mean, I got this stuff right here. You know, we're at a, well, I think it's a 13-degree angle, actually. But you know, I can run. Well, a little more gold popped up. Still is not worth running. I mean, holy shit, I can see the gold mat. I don't know if it'll focus in there or not. But, oh, there you go. Now this is worth running. This is super time. This is what pays the bills and not dinking around wasting your time. I mean, that's a 15-degree angle. 13, 15, I'll tell you here for sure in a minute. But I'm just, now you will get gold traveling when you do it like this. If you spoon it on there, you don't have to worry about it. But now you look at that. But by pouring it on like I poured it on, you know, I still come down into sluice very, very little bit. But you've seen how rich that shit was. And by just dumping it in there, you can see where I blew it out. But it caught it just right down below it. That's the kind of stuff I like to run. If I'm going to waste a lot of time doing this stuff, I want to see gold. Let's see if I can fill them lines back up there. But right on top of this mat, and my finger, is a line of gold, just super fine gold. Somebody posted and wanted to know how it did with 300 mass gold. That's all super. That's way below 100. You know, 300, when you count out 300, you don't even see it. Okay, this top mat is absolutely clean gold. Starting to get a little bit of black sand in the second mat, but 99% clean gold on the damn finger. I mean, when you see gold like that, it's pretty easy to panic. Now, you see me just dumping that shit in there. I do have a little bit of gold down here. Not much, but a little bit. And less and less and less down to the mat. Alright, let's go down to the very bottom. I'm not seeing any gold at all in the bottom of this. I just checked the angle. It is a 13-degree angle. 10 inches wide. 1,100 gallons of hour bulge pump running straight into the gold cube. We'll shut it down. Look at that top tray of the gold cube. Clean this out. I didn't even go through that. I'm going to dump that in my yard. I mean, it's not worth it. Now those two little containers right there, yeah, they had a little bit of gold in them. You know, hell, I still got that to clean up. But, and them buckets up there now, they have, that's cons. That's not reruns from panty tubs or shit. That's cons. They're not real rich, but nevertheless, that's a good deal there. And then, by letting it run just a little bit, this black sand moved out, this black sand moved out. I mean, I got 1, 2, 3 mats of clean gold at that 13-degree angle, and then the black sand starts on the 4th mat. And then the 5th mat, very, very low gold. So, we'll shut her down and take a look. Always looks better with water over it. But this is what I want to show you. This is the right off the ramp right there. This first line. Let me get the lighting right. I don't know. That is some fine, fine gold. I meant, I can get the lighting right, but you know, this is well over 100 mash, or under 100 mash. This is that 300 mash stuff I'm talking about. Once you push it together, you can see it. That's a little ball of just real super fine powder gold. Same thing here. This is the first mat, guys. Right here. I mean, just real fine lines of super fine gold. You know, anybody can catch bigger gold. And I can throw it in a pan for you, show you. And I do have gold. 1, 2, 3, 4 mats down. I got pretty good gold. The 5th mat, very little. I mean, there's some. You know, scattered out amongst there. I don't know if you focus on it or not. But I pretty much dumped that first tray of really rich shit in. But if I'm going to do it, I want to see gold. Alright, another tip. Go down to your local dollar store, Dollar General, whatever. This is a cat litter box. There you go. Cat pan. It fits under my cleanup sluice. On top of the gold pan. Even raise it up just a skosh. Unclip these. And then you just start pulling your mats out to it. You know, that's a 3-section piece of mat. Now, if I lose gold, these aren't glued and they're not cut super tight. But I'll get that one in a pan and see what happens. Did a quick clean out on those. This is the very first 2 pieces of mat. You know, I don't know how well you can see it. I'll get my finger in there to focus it maybe. But there is some super fine gold. I did my damn taxes done today, so I don't really have time to play with it too much. But anyway, this is the second section. It's 3 mats. You know, it's not that much gold in there. I mean, there is, but they're not. And then the last section of 3 mats, I mean, it's barely any gold in there. There's a few little pieces. I mean, scattered out amongst there. See if I can get this focused up. I mean, a little watery. You know, I got the gold cube, but it seems like every 5 minutes my accountant's saying, "Hey, where's the receipt for this? What's this?" So I go do my taxes. So much for getting anything done today that I need to. But that was at 13 degrees, 1,100 gallons a minute. Run through there into the gold cube. You know, we can pop that lid off on that gold cube real quick, but just take a look. I got receipts out in my shop I need to take in there. But take a look in here. And I'm really not seeing anything. You know, maybe it'll show up. That might be a piece of gold right there. And that's the first 2 inches of the mat on the gold cube. That might just be a piece of quartz. But as far as where you normally would see it, you know, I don't see any gold. And I've done runs where this whole thing's just been a 1/4 inch thick right there on that top half. About 4 inches down, just 1/4 inch thick, just solid gold. So, you know, basically 80–90% in that top pan, and super fine. Let me get this to focus up a little bit. You know, get some of that light out there, but that is some fine gold right in there. I mean, we got lead, but super fine gold. I mean, that is small. So the washer mat works for me. You know, second tray. There's quite a bit in there, but not, I mean, I just dumped that one water. I dumped that one with water and that pushed it out of the top. And you see in the video, you'll see that hollow spot where it pushed it down to that mat. But still on the third section of the matting, I mean, you got a couple specks in here, but it's not really enough to even worry about. And then the gold cube caught whatever. Handy trip, that little ladder pail, that works great for that gold cube. Keeps your water cleaner. You know, Just, it's a good catch, Trey. All right, I go do my taxes.